I love cooking for the holidays, and Easter is no exception. Like Christmas bakes, there isn't the same guesswork. These are well-honed recipes, tried and tested, and you don't need to spend ages planning on what to cook and bake. Today I'm making two of my favourites, Seminole cake and hot cross buns. Of course you can buy hot cross buns in the shops. They're available everywhere, more or less the moment Christmas is over. But homemade ones are so much better. They're just fresh. You can tailor the spices to what you like, and they're just lovely. So I've added warm, not hot milk to the yeast, the flour, the spices and salt, and then just mix that together. If you can use a stand mixer, that's brilliant. If not, you can do it by hand. And then I add a little bit of vinegar, as well as eggs and butter. The vinegar I use apple cider vinegar. This vinegar just gives it a lighter, airier texture, and I think makes a big difference. I'm now making the marzipan. I'm not a big fan of normal marzipan. I'm not a big fan of strong almond flavours, and I really am not a fan of shop-bought marzipan. But I make a vanilla marzipan, which is just to die for. And so I just mix the icing sugar and almond flour, or ground almonds, together with eggs, lemon juice and vanilla. You can use a vanilla pod and scrape the seeds out. I tend to use a vanilla extract which has got the seeds in and which has got a lovely flavour. It's a bit expensive, but for special bakes it's worth it. The marzipan can be dusted with icing sugar and then put in the fridge to rest. If you've not tried Seminole cake before, I really recommend it. It's a fruit cake with a layer of marzipan cooked in the middle. Another layer then goes on top, and to decorate, 11 marzipan balls. These represent the 12 apostles, obviously minus Judas. After creaming butter and sugar together, add the eggs and mix that again. Then add in flour, almond flour, bicarb and baking powder. Bicarb just gives a little bit of a softer cake. Orange zest, spices, orange juice. Give that another mix and then add in the fruit. Make sure you don't overmix the batter. Fruitcakes can be quite heavy, and so just mix it until everything comes together. I've rolled out the marzipan for the initial layer on a piece of baking parchment, just to make it a little bit easier to add it to the cake. I'll then add a layer of batter to the cake pan, about half. Pat that down and add the marzipan and then the remainder of the cake batter. And then that all gets baked. And once it's cooled, it can be decorated with the final layer of marzipan. The hot cross bun dough has been proven for about an hour and a half. It always takes a little bit longer when it's in a rich dough because of the added butter and eggs. And obviously, depending on the warmth of your kitchen, if, like mine, yours is a bit of a cold room, then move it to a room that's a little bit warmer. Not hot, just warm enough to encourage the dough to rise. This recipe makes 12 hot cross buns, and they've then gone into a pan which I lined with baking parchment, and that then about another 45 minutes to rise again. And now I'm just topping them with a cross, and the cross is literally flour and water. Piping bag does make this much easier. The moment the buns are out of the oven, they get brushed with some warm marmalade. You could use jam. I prefer the marmalade as the jam makes them too sweet, but entirely your own preference. We're really big on traditions in our home. Anything to do with Christmas or Easter or any other celebration, I absolutely love it. The older the tradition, the better. I'd love to hear from you. What are some of your traditions for not just Easter, but any other holidays? Once the rest of the marzipan is put on top of the cinnamon cake, it goes under the grill for a few minutes, just until it browns. Take care that it doesn't burn. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great Easter, and I hope to see you again soon.